Oh. Let's see, is that on quiet? Yes, it is. Woohoo, get it out of the way. I still don't have that keyboard update.
Womp womp.
Womp womp womp.
And you're the one with the Nexus device.
I know, so I can get
Funny how that works.
OS updates, but I can't get app updates.
It's similar to what Microsoft does. Windows phones don't actually get Microsoft software until everything else does.
Pretty much, yeah.
Funny
So there's a Google Duo, a Google Play Music, Meetup, Microsoft OneDrive, and an Xbox app update, which I just updated the Xbox app on the iPhone. And then also a game that I installed that I have yet to play. It's a free game called Train Conductor World, which actually looked kind of neat from the videos and stuff. You try to keep trains from crashing into each other and all that stuff.
That's great. I could have swore I just downloaded a new app.
Maybe you did, maybe you didn't.
Well, I had downloaded Alarmy to... So, I was telling you about those pins. Well, on eBay, I set my Android alarm, which I'm not used to, so I knew it was going to freak me out and remind me that, hey, I got to go buy those pins on eBay. So the guy that does the YouTube videos, he's like, hey, we're going to post them at 9 o'clock California time and then 9:30 California time. I'm like, okay.
PM, AM.
PM.
Ooh.
So no big deal for me because I always stay up late.
Yeah, you're up at 11:30.
Yeah, piece of cake.
No big deal.
So set my alarm, get on the computer, waiting for the link. The link drops. I've never clicked through eBay so fast. I had no idea what the shipping. He could have charged $100 for shipping, and I would not have.
You would have paid it
probably
gladly.
Yeah.
I'd be like, wait a second, that's not right.
Luckily, he's not a dingleberry. I could have said other things, but I won't. I'll try to keep it G-rated for now.
Keep it G-rated, folks. G-rated.
But then he dropped the second one, but the link wasn't dropped into our little Facebook group. Luckily, I had saved him as a
favorite seller.
Mm-hmm. So I just kept refreshing the page, and then there it popped up, and I must have been like the first 10 people to buy the second pin, which is the one I really wanted. So
you could have been the only person buying any of the pins.
They both sold out in under a minute.
How many did you say you had?
100 each.
Really?
Of each style.
Dang.
Yeah. They went very fast.
Okay.
It's kind of amazing how YouTubers have the clout that they do.
It is. So you probably felt the way that I did when I got the NES Classic. You're like,
yeah.
If I wouldn't have been there at that moment in time, it would have been gone.
And it is funny because he vocalizes a lot of stuff that he does over Snapchat and Instagram. Mm-hmm. And I just so happen to look at Instagram literally every day, and I never miss anything. I just off the stuff that I want to see.
Right.
So, and he's always on there, so I happen to see, hey, we're going to be giving these away, or not giving, selling. And he had actually done a different pin about a couple weeks before this. I mean, and those went so fast I had no time to even react to them. So I'm like, I'll get the next one. I'm sure he'll make more pins because he's already done more since the ones even before that previous one I was just saying.
Right.
So it's like, I'll just wait till the next one. Glad I did because these designs, personally, I like better. So
or much better, you say.
Chances are, too, that he's writing a hand note because he hand writes notes when he sells the pins too. At least right now he does. I don't know of how much longer he can keep that up because that's a long time suck.
That he includes when he sends them?
Yeah, it's not just, oh, hey, here's your pin. It's like a little short,
slight personalized letter in a way.
Yeah, and then he signs them, for what that's worth.
Man, you get an autograph too?
I know.
Holy cow.
So that might be what he's doing. I'm not 100% for sure. I know he marked it as shipped, but I see it hasn't moved anywhere. So I'm assuming that's what's happening, which is fine.
It's probably
I'm not in a hurry.
Here's what happened. He printed postage at home.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And just wait until everything is done, and then he'll drop them
all
off
at once.
And there they go. And on their way, dispersed around the United States and the rest of the world.
Actually, yeah. And he's talking about doing a second run of these because the people overseas got kind of screwed.
Because of
timing.
Yeah.
And he was trying to line up time, which we were talking about that in Facebook.
It's tough. It's tough to do something like that.
Well, and it's not even that it was an intentional thing. It's like, when you live in an area for your entire life, you forget the rest of the world kind of exists. And it's not intentional. It just happens.
It is actually one advantage of living in the central time zone, because when for example, we'll just take the World Series. If they start the World Series at 8 p.m. and they're playing on the West Coast where it's like 7 p.m., but it's okay, so if it's 8 p.m. Central Time, it's 6 p.m. there, so technically they're starting it even later. If you're a fan of an East Coast team that's playing in that World Series or whatever, that becomes a challenge.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's one of those little things. I don't know. So go ahead and play that Tech Informist music. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that little pre-show chat about buying pins on eBay, because that's what Brad's been doing lately. He likes the Disney World, Disneyland pins from YouTuber Justin Scarred.
Yeah.
Apologies, Justin. I know you're listening.
Yeah, because it's 2 R's, not the one, so
Scarred.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least that's how he explains it. Nah, I don't even know if that's his real name. I just know that's what he goes by.
I
know if that's what his band...
doubt it.
It's what his band was named for a while. He was in a punk band, which from California. Who go figure,
like Scarred Straight or something like that.
No, it was Live Fast Die Poor, I think, which is what his brand is like now. It's Live Fast Die Poor, and I actually kind of like that. It's like, don't worry about the money that you're spending now, because when you're on your deathbed, that will mean nothing.
Yeah, but in a way, you kind of need to worry about it a little bit, because, well, you kind of still need it in case you're not planning on dying for a while, or if your body isn't giving out on you.
My example meaning oh man, I shouldn't have spent that extra $10 on that meal. I should have saved that for bills or whatever.
Yeah, I shouldn't have got the nice sandwich. I should have got the little cheapy sandwich.
Yeah, I should always eat the cheap stuff so I can save that money. It's like, you gotta treat yourself sometimes.
Enjoy life once in a while.
Yeah. Stop and smell the roses, as they say.
Roses smell pretty good. I like roses.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, I don't know. I guess I'm indifferent. Mm-hmm. I can't smell half the things anyway sometimes because my sinuses are all screwed up. Thank you, Midwest.
Yeah. You'll hear about it during the episode, and you might have even heard about it on prior episodes. I don't know.
More than likely, yes.
All right. So, folks, this is episode 156 of the Tech Informist. This is Kevin Harvell, and that's Brad Whiteside. And we're back again about a week or so before Christmas, which is so hard to believe that if you think about it, from the night that we're recording this, which is Thursday, December 15th, 2016, we're 9 days away from Christmas.
Continue. I have something to add.
Oh, he's got something to add. So, I mean, if you think about it, it's just really a little over a week away. Mm-hmm. And the year is just flying by. Celebrities are dying left and right. Still, it's like a never-ending thing. It's like 2016, go. Just go.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of celebrities that have died, exactly 50 years ago as we record this, Walt Disney died.
Exactly. And I saw he was actually young. He was 65, I think.
Yeah.
He was born in 1901, died in 66. So, 65 years old.
I mean, I grew up in a world that I was never alive at the same time he was. That's the world I grew up in.
You never breathe the same air.
Well, technically, we kind of all have.
Yeah.
But let's not get into that.
I know.
Let's not get super.
It's like, for me, it's weird to be able to say I was about a year and a half when Elvis died.
Right.
It's like, I don't remember any of it, obviously, because I was only a little over a year.
Listening to The Nerdist, they had Elvira, the Halloween girl.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
That's it. That's the one I'm talking about. So apparently she dated Elvis at one point.
Yeah, briefly. Yeah, because she was like a Vegas showgirl and stuff like that. Because I ended up listening to that episode.
You did?
I listened to the majority of it because I listen to things when I'm going to bed, and they were going through things.
It was such a good episode.
Wow, check this out.
So I know of her.
But you don't know any of the background. You're just like,
Right.
oh, she comes out at Halloween and she dresses all vampy and sexy.
And I barely even
seductress.
know that much.
Yeah.
So to like hear all that backstory stuff, like I love people's perspectives on podcasts, which is what we've been talking about since our meetup. Like but I really do thoroughly enjoy and I'm really trying to kill that I'm going to stab it to death. Sorry. I'm as a podcast, you try to want to do better.
Verbal quirks that we have in our speech patterns and our language that we kind of aggravate ourselves with.
And as you start editing, which I just edited the last show, you start noticing those things in your podcast and other people's. In fact, tonight I was listening to Star Talk Radio, and guess what? But it wasn't from Neil deGrasse Tyson. It was from one of his offshoots of other people are standing in for him because he couldn't be there.
Right. That is one of the things that whenever you're hosting a podcast, you're a little bit more aware because you kind of do it a little more frequently. And when you have a guest on and they're just all over the place because they're not used to being interviewed and they know they don't have to worry about editing or just sit down and talk. And when we stop, we stop. And they're done with it.
Yeah.
It's up to the editor, which is typically me, to go back through and get rid of the ums, uhs, ahs.
Sometimes you can't always do that, though.
Exactly. Sometimes you got to leave things in for effect. Some things it kind of makes sense to leave in.
Right. So, for instance, if I was just saying like every other word, doesn't need to be in there. However, if I was saying such and such was like such and such, that clearly that
stays
word
in.
deserves to stay.
Yeah. But I mean, if you start going all Valley Girl, this was so cool, and then we went to the store and I got gas because this cute guy over there wanted to get me some gas, and then he bought me a soda. It was so cool.
If I were to do this voice, Kevin, I'm not sure that you would have me back on the show. So I'm just not gonna.
I'm just getting a little bit more comfortable. It's one of those things when you get older, some things you don't care as much about as you used to.
What are you prepared to do to make your wonderful audience laugh?
Yeah, I'm sure nobody's laughing right now. But hey, there's nothing I can do. I'm not a professional comedian. I'm not going on tour. No stand-up. I would not do an open mic night.
Ooh.
No.
So that has briefly crossed my mind, and if you knew me, you would say, well,
I'd be like, "You're right.
Why are you even attempting to go up there?" But after podcasting, I am a lot more comfortable talking to people and with people, and even just by myself because of it. So,
kind of having casual conversations with complete strangers.
Yeah, and it just kind of
small talk.
Briefly crossed my mind. I'm like, that is definitely a way to grow, is to stand in front of that mic and just start talking.
Would you do like a ventriloquist dummy like Jeff Dunham or something like that?
No,
that would be kind of cool.
I think, I'm not
other
good
than
at that.
sticking your hand up a puppet's butt. I mean, that's another story.
Yeah, I think I'm better at just stupid voices, just dumb, just terrible.
Okay.
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage, folks.
On a cold winter's night.
All right. So the main discussion that we kind of want to talk about is before we get into the news. See, I kind of flubbed that just a smidge, but it's okay because we're not perfect.
Nah.
And if certain tech podcasts can have all sorts of blunders and things, and that makes it out, and that gets hundreds of thousands of downloads.
Do these tech podcasts,
I think we'll be okay.
Are they based out of California by a chance?
I don't know. There's a bunch of them that are all over the place.
Maybe.
We're going to talk a little bit about safety online because Brad's a big proponent of two-factor authentication.
Very.
I'm not. I mean, I like the idea, and I think it needs to be something. I just don't typically set that stuff up because I get aggravated sometimes.
That's fair enough. I mean, for instance, so while we just kind of dive right in, but I have two-factor authentication on all of my very important social media stuff important to me. Mm-hmm. Nobody else could give a crap less, but that's fine. Important to me, I have two-factor stuff set up in case somebody happens to guess my password, which it doesn't spell out anything. It's just random characters that are generated through Norton's password generator, which you can find free online. We actually will have the details in the show notes, but it is a really good site, and it's a trusted source where you can generate a password and not have a third party steal the information you're trying to generate. But in regards to two-factor, though, with Twitter, there's a lot of third-party apps. When you try to set those third-party apps up, sometimes that two-factor doesn't want to go through, and it gets a little hairy and difficult. Sometimes you have to turn it off and then turn it back on, and it can be a pain. However, it is a little peace of mind, and I do wish more people used it, at least on like some of their main accounts, like where if they lost it, like their life would be over kind of account.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem. It needs to be something relatively simple to at least get set up and used for the average consumer. Right now, I wouldn't say that it is, which I would presume is one main reason why people don't do it.
I mean, even when I set it up for my Apple ID, like they had like a few different like warning gates where they're like, "Oh, are you sure you want to set this up? If you set this up and something happens, you're going to lose all your stuff, this, that, and the other." I'm like, okay, it's not going to happen.
The roll of the dice I'm willing to take tonight.
Yeah, I can't always remember my stupid security questions, so I'd rather do the two-factor. That's me, though.
No, I completely understand. And when you're dealing with multiple websites and you've got different security questions across the different websites, it's like, well, I don't know. Did I put a space here? Did I capitalize this? Does it need to be capitalized? I don't know.
Yeah, it can be frustrating, but again, nice thing about two-factor is you can, like, for most instances, you can, for instance, my Microsoft account, if I sign into my computer at home, I only need to do that once, and it recognizes it's my computer, and I never really have to do that again unless, like, something gets updated. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, actually.
I mean, it's one reason why, especially with like the phones or computers and things like that, I like fingerprint scanners and all the other biometrics like Windows Hello and stuff like that. That's nice.
Now, didn't they say something where they were going to allow like you to use a fingerprint to like sign into
websites or things like? I don't recall. It's been so long, and I
could have swore that was like something they were working towards. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
This is kind of an obvious one, but I just feel it's worth saying. Watch what you click on. It's and more so, I guess, when you're on your phone, because when you're trying to scroll past that ad and you accidentally click it instead of hitting the little X or something, it could be an issue, especially if you're on one of like
a little sketchy website. Mm-hmm. You're looking up something you shouldn't be.
A little darker corners of the webs, which actually I have a story which is what spurred this discussion, and I was going to try to research it, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not comfortable researching this topic.
And you're like, I don't think I need to put that in any search terms.
Nope, especially on any of my devices that are solely mine. So this has to deal with, there is, as far as I know, it is only based on Android. It is a malware. I have not gotten it. I don't know anyone who has gotten it. In fact, I was only just aware that it was a thing as of like 2 days ago. But essentially, it puts child pornography on your phone.
Woohoo!
So when you go to somebody like, let's say my wife at a certain select retailer, and she's trying to fix your phone and sees that, she has to call the cops. That's something that has to happen.
Yep. That's a duty to report that.
So turns out that when the cop got there, he's like, oh, yeah, we've gotten multiple reports of this. This is a thing. He's not lying, as far as we all know. But he is like basically required to like basically nuke his phone.
Exactly.
Which this kind of goes back to what we have in the notes. If something like this happen, make sure your stuff is backed up, because if it's not, you are losing everything.
Yeah. I mean, text messages are typically gone, obviously.
Right.
But photos are typically backed up to Google Photos or iCloud. I would almost
say photos are more important than text, and I could be wrong at that.
Yeah, it just depends on what you got going on in your life.
Yeah, exactly. So in my instance, I would say yes. But yeah, make sure those things are backed up. Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, whatever your preferred platform. It doesn't matter. Just make sure they're backed up. iCloud on iOS, you pay 99 cents, you get 50 gigs. a month or whatever. So
Yeah. And that's typically good enough for the average
right.
user. Yeah.
Yep, and that's definitely something I would consider. But yeah, back to the story. I mean, the guy had child pornography on his phone, which I can't imagine it. I don't want to imagine it. And trying to research this kind of terrified me. So I'm like, okay, that I can't do that. So we're just going to try to talk about the safety of it and make you aware that, yes, this is a thing. So maybe watch what you're doing online. Mm-hmm. Also, maybe change your passwords every once in a while. I mentioned that Norton password generator. I'll have it in the show notes again. It is very handy. You can customize your password to have no two like characters. You can have upper or lowercase numerical characters.
Special characters.
Yeah. All kinds of different customizations, how long it has to be, how short it has to be. So it's a very good tool. I use it frequently.
I don't think I've ever used it.
The last thing I can really think of is kind of apps, and this mainly deals with Android, but not all. Watch where you get your apps from.
Oh, sketchy APKs. That's kind of like the whole Google Keyboard, this new update to now Google Keyboard is called Gboard on Android, which has been available on iOS for months. But they finally decided, hey, maybe we should put it on our own platform. Well, I've got my Nexus 6P. Brad's got the LG G5. He's got the keyboard update. I don't. I could go install an APK if I wanted to, but
yeah, it's not worth it.
It's a key. I mean, as much as I love keyboards.
Yeah.
And yes, again, I will always say this. It is one of your most used applications.
Yep.
So you got to like it.
Which to that, I say this. As of now, as of today, or when I got that update, that is my new favorite keyboard. It has everything that I want now. It has the numbers across the top. It has a black profile, so it's nice and dark. It even has extra stuff built in.
Yep, you can theme it. You can get the little animated GIFs.
There is nothing more that I want out of my keyboard. It is almost, well, other than, I will say, I find that Microsoft's word prediction is superior to Google's in my experience, because I am a terrible speller and I know when something's spelled wrong or right. I just don't know how to spell it most of the time.
Now, do you still, quote unquote, hunt and peck, or do you swipe type?
I do the dual thumb thing. I never text one-handed unless I have my hands full, which at that point I'm usually speech to text.
Yeah.
I'm always a two-thumb person. I've never really got the swipe.
Wow, okay.
I mean, I've used it a little, but I'm very improficient.
Well,
we'll go with it.
Yeah. Time to break out the thesaurus.
But yeah, so.
All right. So, if something does go wrong, nuke your phone. Be safe. Be smart.
Yeah. Last thing, it is the holidays, so we are. I am already expecting to have to change some kind of password due to some kind of hacking on Christmas Day, because that's been a thing the past 2-3 Christmases. So just consider that.
Okay. So for those of you in the United Kingdom, the first delivery was made by Amazon on its drone-powered delivery, and it took about 13 minutes from purchase to drop-off. Now, again, in the United States, the FAA is still not approved Amazon to be able to do drone deliveries and stuff like that, as more and more Amazon warehouses pop up around the country. In fact, I believe we're getting not one but two in the St. Louis area, which is just right over across the river.
That's awesome.
Was it Edwardsville or something like that?
Oh, okay. That's not very far.
It's been a while since they announced that news.
Oh, yeah, it has.
Yeah. So I want to say the locations may be open. But it's been 3 years since Amazon first revealed its somewhat audacious to make deliveries by drone. And they launched a trial in Cambridge, England. And on December the 7th, Amazon completed that first drone-powered delivery that, again, like I said, took 13 minutes from order to delivery.
Here's what I like about the tech world. And this rings true for everything that's going on in our current, economies and whatever. If whatever it is we're doing politically fails us, tech world finds a way elsewhere. And all of these things we're trying to help ourselves with, if they get flushed, they will go elsewhere and they will achieve their goals. So to that I say, maybe we should reel it in and make
America great again? I know you didn't want to go there, but somebody's got to.
It's not really what I intended to say, but yeah, that half started it. So yeah
there you
that.
go. Yeah, it's one of the things. We're such an industrial company and so forward thinking and all that, and now we're lucky to be able to make our own Q-tips.
Yeah, it's really puzzling. Although you have people like Tesla who are leading the way.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I guess we'll see. But I'm so excited about drones. I really am. Recently, due to Watch Dogs 2, we'll talk more about that later. But the idea of these things autonomously bringing my package from a warehouse that I could get in 13 minutes, Kevin? Like, you mean I don't have to get off my butt to order Doritos? Like, I can order Doritos on Amazon and they can just drink.
Yeah, just drop it right outside your front door.
Awesome.
There you go.
This brings a new meaning to Beer Run.
I'll tell.
BRRUN, Beer Run.
All right, here is a free business idea for some young entrepreneur out there. Amazon drone landing pad construction. Yeah, that way you just give them a little thing, and there you go. Here's a little marker, just like a hospital helicopter pad.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, and they could almost even be painted on. It would have to be a pattern that isn't typically seen, in the regular world, that it could recognize and hone in on and be like, oh, that's this such and such is from, that's their order or whatever. They could use GPS with the pad and boom. There you go.
Yep. Free business idea, but if you make any money, please let us know, because we probably like a small percent. Small. Again, small.
Yeah,
not greedy.
Feel free to kick us a few dollars.
Not greedy.
Or send us a device or something.
Yeah, there you go. So Twitter is now allowing people to live stream directly from Twitter's mobile apps and basically making the standalone Periscope app
obsolete in a way.
Pretty much.
I mean, really, Twitter's kind of following in the footsteps of, dare I say, Snapchat?
No, brother.
I mean...
And Instagram.
But Instagram...
And Facebook.
Fell... That's kind of true, though. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Facebook, Instagram are doing it because they're essentially the same company these days.
Yeah.
And Periscope finally just got rolled into Twitter because Periscope is a Twitter property. So integrate that into the Twitter app, and now you don't need a separate app.
Which I'm sorry, I love, actually. I don't like all this little tiny separate apps for silly things. It's too many apps on my phone. I get rid of
certain things, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, 'cause I'll always go back to Sunrise and Outlook and calendar and email clients.
Yeah, certain things, I guess.
Yeah. So I have yet really to try this because I'm just not really a live streamer that much. I don't know. It's just
I've done a few things, not much though, just to do them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not really in that camp because I don't like the center of attention usually, which is kind of funny.
Hey, look at me. I'm sitting here at Starbucks and I'm drinking a Mocha Cafe Venti latte that they spelled my name wrong.
It's a chestnut praline latte with skim milk and heated to freaking 102 degrees. And
with a half shot of espresso and one ice cube.
Yeah, right.
Oh, brother. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So anyway, if you are a Twitter user, there you go. And I finally did reinstall the official Twitter apps back on my iPhone and Nexus 6P just to kind of see, what's changed since the last time I've taken a look at these applications. So I'm going to try them for a little while.
So I have actually been using the bare bones Twitter app from Twitter recently on my Android. And that's a little because it's easier to add people and like...
Oh, you got ad right. I mean, ads.
Well, yes, there's that too. And it definitely curates your feed, which, whatever.
You have missed. I don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't care. I just want it in the order it came. Like, that's how I have
What's
my
most
Twitter.
recent?
Yeah, that's how I have it set up. That's how I want it. I'm just saying. Because if I go back 4
hours ago.
4 hours ago, some of it might be irrelevant. So I'm just saying.
Yep.
But yeah, I've been playing around with it. I did see it, and this kind of popped up almost at the same time I saw it. So I felt it worth sharing.
Okay. Circling back to security and safety and logging into your devices, Synaptics, which is kind of like a big company that deals with touchpads and
I was going to say almost every touchpad ever.
Screens and things like that. Microsoft patents for an under-glass fingerprint reader is what that MS Power user has written before. So Synaptics is now, which is known, again, as the leading OEM for trackpads and fingerprint readers, has announced a new family of biometric authentication solutions that offer high-performance, highly secure optical-based fingerprint sensors for smartphones and tablets that is capable of high-resolution scanning through 1 millimeter of full-cover glass, which therefore enables a clean, button-free industrial design, so there's no like clicky thing to put your finger on for the fingerprint sensor to unlock your phone.
I don't know if you remember the really terrible like Gen 1 iPhone apps that had the, in quotations, fingerprint reader that you like basically you just touch the screen and unlock the phone. But, oh, God, I used to laugh at those because I was like, well, that's not really a thing. Like, that will never be a thing. I was clearly wrong.
Yeah, it just took a little time.
I'm usually wrong about a lot of things, but that's fine because it's usually better for everyone, I think.
Right. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. I would imagine that it will be something that will show up on Android devices before it does on
Apple.
iPhone and
I would 100%
other Apple
agree
devices.
with that. It's tough to say who would do it first because, I mean, really any of them could. It's just, I mean, my LG G5 from this year has USB-C. The Samsung, the one that everyone buys, does not. Just, it's funny how they all work, you know, and Samsung has this, or waterproof, and this doesn't, and yada, yada. You can go on and on and on. So.
Yep, there is no ultimate Android device. No perfect smartphone.
No, I'd say that goes true for cameras, too.
Yep, they each offer something good, but just not the entire full package that everybody would want. So, a little car talk. The feds want all new cars to talk to each other by 2023.
So it is funny that this shows up because I was literally thinking about this, and I don't know if that's the really correct term. Literally is correct to be used there, but I'm going to go with it. I was just thinking about this maybe a couple days ago. And the fact that it shows up and it could be a real thing is amazing. So take aside that this is super creepy, that the feds are going to control your car, that any other number of creepy things that could actually happen. Think of at least the kernel of good that is here. This would eliminate so many accidents, which, well, essentially puts me out of the job, actually. However, this won't be overnight, so I will have some job left for a while. But it is really fascinating to think that all of our cars could talk together kind of the same way our phones talk together. Like, you know, our phones kind of talk together. Why can't our cars? I just don't understand why that can't not be like, there has to be a safe way to do this. There has to. Our phones do it. Why can't our cars? But I really, really love this idea. I think it's essential to the whole autonomous thing because if each car knows what each car is doing and it can process it with the cars that it's coming up on or around, that is going to save a lot of lives, which is the most important thing of the story.
Right, and which in turn would hopefully help make insurance for automobiles go down.
Way down.
Hopefully.
I don't see any other... I mean, other than like freaks of nature, it should become much cheaper. Now you know that they're going to try to pull a fast one.
Yeah, they'll
on you.
find something to try to charge you for.
because they're getting used to a certain paycheck for quite a while, which, by the way, I really hate insurance companies, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, I really don't want to go down that road today because I'm in too good of a mood.
Right.
So I don't want to talk about farmers insurance and how bad and slow and everything they are in that Oklahoma office.
You too?
But anyway, that's kind of beside the point because there's more stuff to chit-chat about with Netflix heading to VR again with Google's Daydream. So I think that's kind of neat. It's not something that I have tried to do yet on any.
So is Daydream, is there an app specifically for Android 7.0, or is it only for the Pixel, or?
Only Pixel at the moment.
Okay, that's what I was trying to. Okay, so this isn't something that most people can enjoy.
Correct.
But
at
eventually, right, at the moment, I mean, it makes sense that they launch it with this first, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's kind of the thing that a lot of the stuff is already available on the Gear VR, but as Daydream becomes more and more
prevalent,
that's a great word. I like it. It seems to be that it's starting to get all the other functions and stuff like that. So we'll kind of see where they go with this. I'm curious, though, if anybody has sat and watched an entire movie on
that's
a
what
VR headset.
So I like the idea of being able to, let's say, sit on a beach and watch, I don't know, Home Alone. I don't know. But I don't know how comfortable that would be or how straining that would be for your
sitting
eyes.
on a beach, it sure would leave one heck of a sunburn.
Well, right.
That's why you got to sit under your umbrella with your fancy foo-foo drink.
The little umbrella.
A little umbrella.
The drink even has an umbrella. It's so hot.
Exactly. Got to keep them ice cubes cool.
But I mean, I as VR gets better, there's no killer app still, in my opinion. But as it gets better, as it gets cheaper, I think we're going to start to see use case scenarios for certain things, like front row seats to the Knicks, watching the Knicks play or something. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, that is something that I've been championing on
everything VR.
Yes, I've mentioned that repeatedly on that show because I think that's one of the things that a lot of
imagine how cheap those tickets could be too.
Yeah,
they could be $20,
right.
$10,
$20, and you can move around to any vantage point that they've got a camera set up in the stadium.
Or it's like, $5 you only get the one seat, $10 you get like the front row, but you can switch back and forth, and then beyond that it's like $20 and you can get any camera and any angle and this, that, and the other and switch. And
right.
There's so many different ways.
Sit behind the cheerleaders. You can be right down standing next to the head coach.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you can yell at him, but he probably won't hear it.
Yeah.
Might feel better, though.
Yeah, you would at least feel better being an armchair quarterback. The good old days.
Just don't swing. You might hit your significant other in the face.
Yeah, depending on who's walking by that you can't see at the moment. So what is Android Things, quote unquote, and when will the first devices arrive?
Well, in short, we don't know when the first devices will arrive, but I have a theory that we will see more at Google I/O very soon. Well, relatively speaking.
Yeah, I mean, Google I/O's typically, April, May?
So like 6 months away-ish.
I mean, and another thing to think about how fast this year is going by as I get more and more of these PR emails from companies. Hey, come by our booth or something at CES. I'm not going this year, so I'm not going back to CES this year. But I keep getting all the emails because I'm still on the list from 2 years ago. But that's in just a couple weeks. It's like January 5th through the 8th. And
Mobile World Congress is like 3 weeks away.
Yeah, Mobile World Congress is like late February.
CES is 3 weeks away then.
CES is January 5th through the 8th for general attendees, and basically press announcements will start coming out on January the 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of like Internet of Things devices, there's one that I saw over the week that I almost put in the show notes, but we ended up getting more stuff throughout the week. It's called Pet Cube, I think.
Yes.
It's like $79.
Yeah, I watched that video that you had sent over, and I actually shared it with my wife today because I thought, that's pretty cool.
I kind of want one.
Yeah, where you can like talk to your pet.
Talk to your pet. You can
little
use a laser
point.
which
I'm like, look at
anybody
that.
who has cats
Yeah.
is already all about this. And $79 is not bad.
No, not
Like,
really.
In the grand scheme of things, if that thing lasts for, let's say, 4 or 5 years, shoot, it's every bit worth of it. I mean, yeah, I guess you could get into a little bit of creep factor there because it's a camera in your house. But if you're the only one using it, what does it matter? In a way, it's like, hey, you can check in on your house and your cat at the same time.
Well, as I like to say, every camera that you've got in your house monitoring whatever is accessible by anybody. So they're watching you.
Well, it isn't Watch Dogs, but
Yeah. Which actually works out very good for this pet cube kind of thing.
indeed. Mm-hmm. But so, I mean, I'm really excited about more of the Android things, more Internet of Things, Windows, Cortana, all that stuff. It's really exciting, especially when coupled with other technologies like, let's say, 3D printing. You know, you could 3D print your own enclosure for a board of like a Raspberry Pi and put Windows 10 on it and do all these cool things. And it's really exciting. Like the builder in me just wants to do all these things.
A lot of little things. And
I just don't have a 3D printer.
Exactly.
Not yet.
And as you mentioned, Cortana just now, it looks like Harman Kardon, which is a very well-known speaker manufacturer.
Very good one, I might add.
Yeah. They are expected to launch in 2017 a Harman Kardon speaker, which will come with Cortana built in.
Which is funny because this specific device does not have a screen, that means that it will be based on Linux. Whereas if it was, let's say, a thermostat with Cortana, it would be based on Windows 10 IoT. Little weird thing. Don't completely understand it.
What's going on back there?
Tip from Paul Thurrott, might I add. But that's something that I learned from him. I thought that fascinating. But that aside, Harman Kardon is fantastic. I'm trying to think. Pretty sure Best Buy sells them, but I know for a fact that if you go to Sprint and like spend money of some type, like getting a phone, upgrading something,
A lot of times they'll give you one.
they'll
for
give
free.
you a nice,
some kind of speaker.
nice discount on the Harman.
Ooh,
So the
discount.
Harman Kardon's real high up there,
Yeah.
so that they won't give it to you, but they'll give you a real steep discount for it. So it's worth considering.
Speaking of discounts, this next story is not a discount whatsoever because this is one of the things we've kind of been curious on whenever Apple announced those AirPods back at the September event about you cutting the cord and here's your little Bluetooth-enabled AirPods that just kind of like hang there in your ears. And
Every time I see these, I kind of laugh.
I know. I still go, why? Why?
I legitimately want to know if there is any listener out there who would buy these, who is planning to buy these, because I feel that no one wants these.
Well, it's taken so long for them to finally be available, and I believe as of December 13th is when they finally started shipping them.
That sounds oddly specific to another device that I know of in the video game industry.
Yeah. And one of the other things, too, is like if you go to the Apple Store online, I just did this, I think, yesterday or earlier today. It said it would take like 6 weeks if you were to place an order for AirPods today. But anyway, if you lose one of those magical little AirPods, it's going to cost you $69.
So $70.
$70
All right.
to replace a little bitty speaker.
Yeah, effectively almost half price. So this is how I see it.
It's just under half price.
So it's $160 for the full package, right? If each bud is $70, then that means that little cube they plug in is $20.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
I mean, that's the way I see it. I'm sure they are much cheaper to manufacture, but that's manufacturing versus actually selling.
So according to Apple, after losing one pod, you can continue using the other earbuds since the AirPods both can connect to your device independently, and you can order another one in the meantime. So it'd just be like one of those people that walk around with those little Bluetooth headsets that all of a sudden they're standing in a store or a restaurant and they just start talking. It looks like they're talking to themselves.
Yep.
Or it's like, dude, you're really not that important.
I almost feel like you could switch these around where instead of the little tubes going down, they would go up like antennas. Like out of like an alien, real crappy 50s alien costume or something.
There you go. My favorite Martian classic TV show with Ray Winston, I believe it was his name. Something like
Rene Ricci, I believe, which is Big Apple guy.
Yep. More?
Yes. I've been following him a little bit on Twitter. He went out to do how to find your AirPod
in the snow.
In the snow, and he dropped one of his in the snow. So I guess it made for a good article because he ended up doing it. So
yeah. AirPods. Anyway, I don't know. Let us know. If you were actually going to get this, or like Brad said, if you've already pre-ordered or you've got one on the way or you're thinking about it, when you get it, let us know what you think about it because I'm curious to know.
I'm genuinely curious to see if anybody really is going to order these. I just kind of feel like nobody cares.
Yeah, there'll be a little status symbol and stuff like that for some people.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
You'll see the Kardashians and the Jenners walking around with them. Oh, they're so cool.
I want to be like them.
Exactly. So this week I was reminded why you should have multiple cloud storage options. It's not that I lost any data. It's just for some strange reason, Google Drive was taking forever to upload files. So on the same connection, whether wired or Wi-Fi, trying to upload a podcast episode so I could access it on a different OS for editing, I just had to upload it to Dropbox and go that route because it was either timing out or just not wanting to upload. And I was trying it with multiple different Google Drive accounts because when I got all these Gmail addresses, I might as well try to use them.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's funny. I don't typically think of Dropbox when I think of like online storage, but I just feel like they're the most consistent. Like,
yeah,
a lot of people really do like them, and maybe I should look into them.
And as much praise as I give Google Drive to people, especially when they're talking about like OneDrive, I'm like, yeah, you should really try Google Drive because their uploads are so much faster. Except this week, a couple days this week, and I have not tried it today, I don't believe. But yeah, it was Tuesday and Wednesday. I was like, what is going on? This is horrible. And apparently it was just me because I tried doing Twitter searches and nobody was complaining about slow this, slow that. I'm like, okay. And I know it wasn't because people were uploading big files on the network here at the studio because it wouldn't have uploaded as fast as it did on Dropbox if that were the case. Speed tests were fine. Still like 93 up, 93 down.
Oh, God. I
know. It's just...
So
go on, Spectrum.
Yeah, I have 130 download, but up
3 or 4, maybe 5. Yeah, like I said before, if I need to upload a video to YouTube, I can drive 35 minutes from home to the office, upload my video, drive back home before it would be done uploading at home.
And in my case, I could almost walk.
Just about. You could at least take the bus.
Yeah. If I didn't want to drive, which is like 7 minutes. Yeah. And, by the way, living in the city. # living in the city. But
city life.
Yeah. It's kind of nice sometimes. And other times it's terrifying, but that's fine.
So you went, I believe, and must have went and seen this movie.
I did.
So kind of talk about this.
This movie that we're talking about right now is Moana.
Is what?
Moana. Moana. And it's basically Disney's...
like Mona.
No. No. You just... Yeah. So this is Disney's version of a Hawaiian princess.
Didn't they already do that with Lilo and Stitch?
No.
Wasn't she kind of like a Hawaiian princess?
No. It was more of a... He's an alien. She's a regular girl. Oh, they're an adventure.
It seemed like she was Hawaiian.
She is, and it does take place in Hawaii, but she wasn't like one of the, in quotations, princesses or whatever.
Is Lilo friends with Moana?
I don't think it's the same universe.
Well, it's Disney. It's Hawaii.
I mean, maybe it could be, but
maybe in a future, maybe part 2, the direct home version.
Oh
sequel.
God, I hope not. No, so the
Direct-to-video.
standalone, this movie is better than Frozen, hands down.
Whoa, that's some mighty big words there.
And so my wife told me that. I said, "Whoa!" I said the exact same thing. I said them fighting words.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'll go see it. So I went and saw it. I'm like, that was pretty good. I don't know if it's good as good as Frozen. Well, we sit down and watch Frozen. It's as good, if not better.
Okay.
It is fantastic. The story is good. It is emotionally engaging. It is visually stunning. Everything. The music is fantastic. I mean, it's very and you can even tell that local people helped with either translations or songs or some. There's so much heart in this movie. It is one of those like super strong Disney hits again. Like Disney's killing it this year.
They've kind of been on a roll with their Disney animated films.
Very much so.
I mean, Frozen was good. Zootopia's good.
Yep.
This apparently may be good. I don't know.
I would definitely, if you have kids, go see this movie.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, it doesn't stand out to me as something I'd want to see. I mean, I didn't go
originally. I was like, I'll go. I'll see it when it's on video. So glad I saw it in theaters. Which, by the way, we went to a weird theater to see this. It was one of the AMC theaters, but it was like the drive-in.
Yeah, okay.
But it wasn't really
Outside
drive-in. It was like it was a dine-in.
Dine-in.
So it's kind of like a 5-star lounge or around here, which is essentially you push a button, a lady comes to take your order, and you can get all kinds of things on the menu, right?
Yep.
But they're actually like legitimate good food and slightly expensive, which is fine. It's the movie theater. I get it.
Well, which one was it?
Over in West County. It's like AMC.
Oh, the West Olive?
I believe so.
Okay.
But it was like so it's right across actually from
Gulf Shores.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the West Olive.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been there numerous times. That's a good theater. Great theater.
I had no idea this theater existed. Well, other than watching, was it Batman vs. Superman for my birthday?
Could have been. I wasn't with you. I don't know.
No, I know. I can't remember. It was all big drunken stupor. Not really.
Oh, Lord.
Not really. But no, Moana is really good, and I highly recommend it. And that's kind of all I have to say, really.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and just get the other movie out of the way. And
I mean, what movie would that be, Kevin?
Star Wars Rogue One is out, and actually,
I can't wait.
And people are watching it right now, actually, because
those jerks.
It's 8:50 p.m. Central Standard Time, and hey, the movie started almost 2 hours ago, so I've heard it's really good.
I keep hearing good things, which makes me really happy.
I'm not reading anything on it, but I've heard.
So when I say I've heard, I have read, but I haven't read. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I steer clear from if there's like a full synopsis or just anything. I'm just like steering clear of it. I'm trying to stay off of social media, which isn't really – I'm not succeeding at that very good.
I'm too busy to be on too much social media right now. So that's kind of okay. It's working out in my favor. So I've heard Rogue One is a little bit more – I wouldn't necessarily say darker, but I've heard it's a little bit more mature themed.
Which is exactly what I
crowd.
wanted from this movie. This movie specifically, I wanted that. And if that's what I get, I will be a very happy person when I walk out on Sunday night or whenever it is we go see that.
Whenever you do go see it. So I'm looking forward to catching that. If everything works out, it will be sometime this weekend.
Yeah, same.
That's kind of the plan because next week is going to be crazy for me with my dad moving. So that's going to take up multiple days. Goodness gracious. The life of moving. But at least it's not me moving this time.
Yeah, at least it's someone else's crap.
Yeah. All right, so a few video games. Again, you've mentioned Watch Dogs 2 before on the show.
I did.
You've got a little update for us.
So I played Watch Dogs, and I played it enough to where I have all the achievements on it right now until more
DLC or something
DLC
like that.
drops, which is fine because I will probably wait for all of the DLC to drop and then go back and play it. And actually, I could almost just jump in tonight and just play again because it is so fun and there is so much to do. And it's so funny because everyone is so excited for the first one, but the first one didn't quite live up to everyone's expectations, so they sort of wrote this one off. And I say don't. Please don't, because if you do, they may never make another one of these again.
Kind of like Titanfall. So everybody's sleeping on that game.
Oh my! Those two games, go buy them right now. I don't care who you are, go buy them.
$30.
They are so good.
At least Titanfall.
In their own right, they are both so fantastic and so good. Watch Dogs is a fantastic puzzler. You don't even have to shoot a gun through the whole game if you didn't want to. You could literally use your little RC car, your drone, and a stun gun, and like a little melee weapon that's like a 8-ball, like in like a tether bungee cord thing that you smack people in the face with, which, I mean, I guess you could really hurt somebody with that. But
yeah, I think so.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be a shooter. It can be something more, and it is something more. In fact, the driving in that game is, like, I would say better than Grand Theft Auto, which Grand Theft Auto has been out for quite some time, and they have had multiple iterations, and I would still say that the driving experience in Watch Dogs 2 feels better than Grand Theft Auto.
Well, I would say you should let me borrow it sometime, but it's digital, so I know that's not going to work.
I wish there was a way they could
can I share this for a weekend?
Yeah, like let people borrow your games. Like maybe it's only a set period of time. Like you could only let somebody borrow a game for a week, and then you have to initiate it again the next week if they wanted to keep borrowing it. Microsoft, if you're listening, I know you are.
Yeah, we know.
You should.
We know that.
Get
At
on
least
that.
somebody from Microsoft might be listening. Yeah. And another thing going on this weekend, speaking of games available for the weekend, like last weekend was, no, I don't think it was last weekend. It was the weekend before that anybody could play Titanfall 2 multiplayer for the entire weekend. Then last weekend was double XP for Titanfall 2. Now this weekend, it's play Call of Duty Infinite Warfare for free from December 15th, which is tonight, all the way to December 20th on Xbox One and the PlayStation 4.
I am strongly considering checking this out.
Yeah,
mostly
not?
because I keep hearing actually really good things about it, which sort of surprises me because of the negative.
The opposite, so.
Right, fair enough. So, for context, there is a person at IGN that is on GameScoop, and he was saying how, he hasn't really been enthralled or surprised or just really hasn't taken a Call of Duty for quite a few years now in a row, and he just doesn't care. And he started playing this, and he's actually having a legit amount of fun playing this campaign. And that kind of makes me like, I kind of want to like it again, but I don't know if I want to take – this is a perfect opportunity. I can try it out for free and just get my feet wet and see if I like it at all.
Yeah, any stats that you accumulate will transfer over if you do eventually buy it. You'll be limited to like leveling up to 15 multiplayer wise, and you can only access so many things on zombies and only go so far in campaign, like Zone 3 or
Zone 3, right.
Something like that.
And then I believe in the campaign you only get the first 2 acts, maybe?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, it's still limited, but you get an idea. You'll know by then if you're
Does that unlock achievements up to those points? Do you know?
I would presume so.
Because if that's the case, then I'm very interested.
Achievement whore time.
You betcha.
Oh, brother.
Got to get that 100,000.
Oh, my God.
No, actually, I did jump back into Destiny, though, because they have a Christmas kind of theme update, if whatever you want to call it, for the next 3 weeks. I was having a lot of fun, actually, last night, again, in Destiny, which for a game that is 2 years old and I have no business playing right now, I'm having fun playing Destiny again. So and I've also been playing Recore. I've been very busy on games, so
imagine that.
I've also been playing Recore. I've been using my Elite controller for the very first time, like for real this time. I've been using the paddles on the back, and I was telling you about this. I had a boss fight where I was getting my butt kicked. I'm like, okay, these paddles got to go. So I put the paddles down. I start playing like normal, and I got my butt handed to me that time. Like, okay, paddles are going back on. So I put the paddles back on.
At least stood a chance.
So I'm like, okay, I need to focus on the ads first, and then I need to focus on the boss, then the ads, then the boss, then the ads, then the boss. And then like that little formula like worked until I got him down to a little bit of health, and I ripped out his core, and I kicked that boss's butt. And
wow.
I was like, all right. I need to find a charging stand for this thing because this thing's awesome.
Yeah. Funny. And another big game came out today. Super Mario Run is now available on iOS to download. First 3 levels are free and $9.99 in-app purchase from there.
To unlock the rest of the game.
To unlock the rest of the game, yes. Because you get like the first 3 levels, first 3 worlds in like level 1 or whatever it is, and then you get 20 seconds to play in the first castle.
Yeah, and to be clear, there's no microtransactions beyond that. Like, it is a one-time in-app purchase that unlocks the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, there are like some Toad tickets, Toad Rally or whatever it is that you can do different things, and I don't know.
But that's with in-game monies, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. I haven't had a chance
I'm
to
not
dig too much into it yet. So.
I would say I'm fairly certain that there's no microtransactions.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I don't think, 99 cents for this, 99 cents for that. I don't think it goes that route.
Miyamoto really wanted this to be something where it's a premium Nintendo game that kind of whets your appetites, as it were, for a full-on Mario game.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that it's very on track to do that.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. It's going to take a little bit to kind of get used to and learn the world so you can get all the pink coins and stuff like that to open up challenges and then change the coin color to something different. And then you have more challenges to go back through and replay the worlds and get all the coins and unlock other characters.
Again, if this really becomes a thing and if Nintendo wants to make a Metroid game, I might be buying an Apple device.
Ooh. Well, it'll all be out on Android eventually.
No, you don't understand, Kevin. It's Metroid.
Talking about waiting, that was one of the nice things was at, the Apple event back in September. Sign up to get notified on the Apple App Store. So as soon as it launches, you'll get notified. Well, I had actually forgot about it because I've been so busy editing other podcasts and videos and this and that. And Mr. Brad over there sends me a message earlier today. He's like, "Did you get Mario Run yet?" I'm like, "No, completely forgot all about it." So at just before noon Central Standard Time, I go ahead and download it and play it for a few minutes and just, kind of put it away. Well, 7 hours later, I get an email. "Hey, Super Mario Run is now available on iOS. Come get it."
Sweet.
Like, I've already had it for 7 hours, so kind of defeats the purpose of being notified when it's available if you're telling it to me hours and hours after it was available.
Yeah, clearly they don't talk to each other.
No. Apparently not.
The last pick that I have is finally, so it's a podcast I finally got to listen to, and for the main reason of the person who does this podcast, Jared Petty, Petty, Jared on Twitter. He is leaving IGN after 3.5 years, and that really sucks. On my end. On his end, I'm sure he's ecstatic.
On the bigger and better things, probably.
He's actually going to work at EA.
Well.
Yeah, so he's going to do what his childhood dream is, and that is to make games. And
wow.
I say good for him, and I wish him the best. However, he's going to keep doing this lovely little podcast called Pockets Full of Soup. And the premise behind this is everyone has a story to tell. And he kind of starts off the podcast by asking you, what person are you thankful for? And from that, you kind of develop a story to tell, and you tell that story, and he asks you questions to kind of spur the conversation even further and kind of brings in a perspective of both of those people, just chit-chatting about this one person that kind of might have changed your life. And the first episode is just fantastic. It's I'm not sure if anybody of you listening would know. It's Game Over Greg, also known as Greg from IGN used to work there, doesn't anymore. He does his own stuff now. but he was like episode number 1. Turns out he lived in Missouri for a little while and went to Mizzou.
Wow, journalism school, brother.
Yep, exactly that, and which all makes sense in the grand scheme of things. But he had a nice little story to tell, and it was a very good story. And if nothing else, just check out the first episode and see what you think. And I would almost bet that you might listen to episode 2.
Okay, might have to give it a chance. So many good things to listen to out there.
And so little time.
I know.
Especially if you're an editor.
Exactly. It's a big problem. But on to the beer pick of the week. This is actually one for me, and it's something that my daughter had actually bought for me a few months ago, and I finally got around to drinking it, and it's the Thai Chili Wahoo from Ballast Point Brewing and Spirits.
Which, by the way, Ballast Point has been doing some phenomenal things lately. I believe they were the ones that did the Red Velvet that we just talked about maybe an episode or so ago.
I do believe so, that you had mentioned that, and I would still like to get my hands on that. So I had this, and I bring it into the living room after pouring my glass. I brought the bottle with me because it's a big bottle, and my wife said, "Oh, it sure looks like an awful lot of beer." I said, "Nah, there's only just a little bit left in here."
Oh, hey, there's your picture.
Oh, he's looking at my picture. Yep, there it is. How about that? There's my TV and probably my cat and all that good stuff. So it's different. I'll just say that. It's something that if you are a fan of like peppers and ginger and stuff like that, because it's a little bit spicy. I mean, Thai chili.
Now, is it like a spicy spice or is it a heat spice?
It's a heat spice.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of what to compare it to. So like
a habanero kind of
that
the shock top strawberry wheat or
right
something
that
like
we
that.
had not too long ago.
That was February. That's not too long ago.
Okay, yeah. That's the last time I saw JJ.
Yep. Yeah, I know. It was a long time ago. Yeah. But, yeah, so it's got chili, lime, fresh ginger. Not too, I mean.
It sounds like something that would go, like, maybe incredible with, like, a pad thai.
Oh, yeah. I could definitely see a Thai restaurant carrying this.
Yeah.
It would make a whole lot of sense.
It's so weird that I want to try it. That's what I like about this. It's so weird. And I just occasionally really like the really weird beers. So, yeah, I really wanted to find this, actually.
Yeah. I don't think I would not try it again. Just, I don't know if it would be something
You're not going to go out of your way to find it.
Right.
Right. That's fair enough.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, if you find it, you find it. If not, if you do find it and you do try it, let us know. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on the Thai Chili Wahoo from Ballast Point Brewing and Spirits.
Every time you say Wahoo, I always think of Mario.
Wahoo!
Yep.
Wahoo! Yeah. Good times. So I think on next week's episode, maybe it'll just be kind of like a little 2016 recap or some things we might like to look forward to in the new year.
So let's say
stuff like that.
Say a recap of 2016 this next week, and then maybe the following week do like a what we're looking forward to
in 2017. How about that? See, it's already laid out. Look at that production meeting,
all done live.
Yeah,
right
all
in front
done
of you.
live.
Well, live for us,
right in your ears. So again, it's hard to believe that the year 2016 is nearly coming to a close.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things as you get older, that everything that they say about that being the older you get, the faster time seems to fly. That's true.
Oh, God, that terrifies me.
It is so true.
It's going really fast right now. It needs to really take its time because I'm not looking forward to getting that much older. So,
yeah, it's flying. Now I'm having some fun, so
I'll be 30 before you know it.
Oh, Jesus. Here we come with so young. Anyway. hopefully everybody enjoyed this episode and have like some of the little tweaks. We're just kind of playing around with little things, and
Because why not?
Yeah, just why not? It's a podcast. We can edit. We can do this. We can do that. And
hey, it's good practice for me because I'm going to be the one doing it. So
yeah, he's picking up some editing things. So give him the feedback what you think of his editing skills.
yeah, if you think it's garbage, let me know.
Yeah.
You're not going to break my heart.
Right, exactly. So everybody, I hope you enjoy this episode. Just have a nice, safe weekend, and we'll be back next week with one more episode just before Christmas. So, yeah, go out, see some movies. If you see Star Wars, let us know. If you go see Moana. Let us know about that as well. Or if you see any other movies or television shows that are coming out or are already out, let us know about that. Or podcasts.
I'm almost positive it's going to be a terrible movie, but I'm very curious about the new Assassin's Creed movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like you don't really hear a whole lot about it, at least from the circles that I...
Yeah, it's not out for another week, so...
Yeah. It's kind of a rough weekend to launch, Christmas weekend.
Right.
If you ask me.
Yeah.
But then again,
I don't know where else to put it.
I would have put it out before Star Wars came out at least.
Maybe.
Because Star Wars is going to rule for at least the next month.
Oh, that's a fair point.
So, I mean, they obviously don't think too much of it if they're going to release it the week after Star Wars.
That is a fair point.
That's just my opinion from a non-business insider. I wouldn't have done it. I would have waited till either February or I would have pushed it back to last weekend. Again, just me. But that's why I podcast, and I'm not a big Hollywood producer kind of guy working in a Hollywood studio.
Yeah, any of the big wigs.
Yeah, big wigs. Yeah. Anyway, again, thank you all for listening. Kevin Harvell, Brad Whiteside, at Kevin Harvell on Twitter, at Holy_Shadows, Old Man Harv on Xbox Live, and Holy Shadows on Xbox Live. Join us, won't you? And until next time, consider yourself informed. We're out of here.
Star Wars!